Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again for another Kickstarter critique where I take a look at a different Kickstarter every single day at 2 p.m. I do a live stream on the weekdays, so if you're enjoying what I'm doing, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below as I try to get to 9,000 subscribers to celebrate my 9-year anniversary of making board game content. But today, I'm excited because this is the first time I've had the opportunity to check out an 18xx style game on Kickstarter. If you're not familiar, those are essentially like really in-depth train games. I think that's the easiest way to put it, but there's a whole huge, gigantic subgenre of games, like literally hundreds of these games, 18xx games. So right now, I see it here, and I had to go down, I think, 4 rows. So you're not quite on the top of the tabletops games thing, but there are quite a few games above you that are going to end before you, which means you do have a chance to keep rising. So let's check this out and see why it's already got $86,000 funded. The long-awaited return of Mike Hutton's game of tricky track building and questionable corporate direction. No! No! No video! You don't have to have a video. You clearly have raised $86,000. But even if it is just you saying, like literally, you can just pretend, hey, my name is Scott Peterson, and I created 1860 a long time ago, and it was really popular, and people really seemed to enjoy it, and so I thought, you know what, I want to do an awesome, newer version of it with exclusive stuff that will only be for this Kickstarter. You know, I'm not trying to get rich here or anything, it's just, I just want to make the most amazing version of my baby right now, and it can be yours, and then, there you go. That's your 45-second thing, and there you go. Just boom. And now I have a personal touch instead of no video, but it is what it is. Let's keep going. 1860's long-awaited return is here. After years being out of print, All Aboard Games is proud to bring back the clever and intricate 1860 in collaboration with original designer Mike Hutton. This reprint combines the best of both worlds, the designer's original art and vision with AAG's best-in-class production and quality. This is all amazing! Put it in a 30-second video! It's long awaited. This has been a very difficult game to get. People who want this know about it and are sharing it. Word of mouth is better than a video for this particular Kickstarter. I agree to some extent with that, but why not have both? Like, you can still get word of mouth out. I mean, it's just, like, anything right here would be better than nothing, I do think. 1860, it is a class of its own with unique rules that give the players brand new challenges and gameplay to discover that is like no other 18xx game. Like, once again, this is great stuff. Like, I don't know much about 18xx games. I've probably played maybe 3 or 4 in my life. I remember liking a Crayon one the most. I would love to know more about 18x games. This is a great forum. Right now, you have my attention. I'm on your Kickstarter page. Give me a brief snippet of what 18xx games are, then tell me what you did so different and so unique that made this game so heralded and a game that people had to jump on. And that's why it jumped to $86,000. Just like I remember seeing this one and being like, wow, this thing just absolutely went like a rocket ship. But I'm worried that it's not going to be able to continue that pace and maybe get to more eyes, and I think not having a video is part of the reason why. Also, I see 59 comments. That means we need to be driving more engagement into that comment section. Right now, if you want to talk about 18xx games, you should be on this Kickstarter talking about 18xx games, talking about your favorite 18xx games, talking about your favorite mechanisms in 18xx games. Go to hell, Board Game Geek. It should be right here for the next 11 days. People are here to talk about 18xx games, and that is... And then you get people excited, and you start tickling those algorithms, and then maybe all these big Eurogame fans are like, you know what, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the time that I finally pull the trigger on an 18xx games. But you know what? I don't think they're going to do it if there's no video to get them in there, because look at where you're coming from. Like, look at Primal, look at Paleo, or whatever that one was last month. The videos, they wow you. And this one has nothing. It's just a hard sell, I think, for most board gamers. And yes, I do say a lot of the time it's great to focus on your primary audience, but doesn't mean you should kind of alienate everybody else. And I feel like it does that a little bit. 1860, awesome. 1860 works wonderfully with 2 players, which makes it easy to get a game going. So normally, I'm completely thrown off by the no video, but here's what I always look for on a Kickstarter page. Do I want it? Can you do it? And how much is it? So do I want it? No. Not right now, I don't. You know, I'm not a big 18xx fan. You know, let me rephrase that. I enjoy the idea. I would love to have an 18xx game in my collection, but I don't know if I want to pay whatever the Kickstarter price is going to be to get it before I play something like that, which is why you have to warm me up on it. Now, if you're an 18xx fan, then this is a no-brainer. But for everybody else, do I want it? I don't know. Cool. It's long awaited. That's good, I guess. Can you do it? I see 3 created, 13 backed. That gives me a great sense of hope. And let's make sure the last 2 weren't dumpster fires, because you always gotta check. 1822? No. Awesome. Excellent. 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 Good stuff. I feel comfortable. Can you do it? Yes. Check that one off the list. So how much is it, and do I want it? Let's go. As a special reward for backing during this Kickstarter, each Kickstarter edition includes the bonus expansion 1816's Locomotive on the Isle of Wight. Amazing. Excellent. And with each Kickstarter copy, the expansion will be included already. Spectacular. So it's in one box. It's nice. It's clean. It's clear. I'm hoping this pledge level over here is going to be clear as well, because the backing window is so small, all the normal stretch goals are already included. This game already comes with the high-quality production you have come to expect from all aboard games. And that's fine, because I see people bickering all the time about stretch goals. I hate them. Stretch goals, I love them. Unlocks, I hate them. Unlocks, I love them, like daily unlocks. And they're just like, no. And they're doing exactly what Nemo did, if I recall correctly, which is, this game is amazing. It is the best quality game that you're going to get. Just get it. Like, we're not trying to, like, woo, fancy bells and fancy whistles to get you coming back. And but by not doing that, we see 59 comments, and we see this game that could potentially be rising higher and getting more eyeballs on it as, some really spectacular counterculture right now, counter-canceling. So this is one thing I talk about, when they launch a Star Wars movie, there's normally like a romance movie that comes out at the same time. Because, the people that are very against Star Wars, they can go watch that. And right now, there's a giant minis game, there's a giant card game, there's a 2-player game, there's like an abstract game, and then there's an 18xx game. So you have a nice little window here to poke your head up, but you have to figure out a way to get more comments and more people engaged with the Kickstarter in order to rise up higher, because I don't feel like most people scroll that far down on Kickstarter. And let me know what you think about that, because I believe this was the 24th game on tabletop. Are you getting to the 24th game when you get to tabletop? Or are you like, you know what, fine, I'm going to back Castles of Mad King Ludwig, and then you're like, nope, I'm done with Kickstarter for the day. I don't know, because I don't buy many things off Kickstarter, so I always love to hear what other people, how they use Kickstarter, but I imagine that most people are not getting to that 24th game. Rules, second edition, excellent. I'm going to click on this. I imagine they're going to be beefy. I just feel like 18xx are generally pretty rules intensive. All right, so you do, so this for me is not a big deal, because you do have to be a BGG member to download it. But I don't feel like most people are going to be coming... Most of the people who click on this, I think, are going to be members of BBG. So I don't feel like that's a big deal. But normally it would be nice if it was just a PDF I could click on and it would take me there, as opposed to having to go to BGG to download it. And I don't feel like that would be hard. I mean, I'm sure there's some sort of third-party website that would let you do that. Like Google Forms. Just put it into a Google Forms, and instead of sending people to BGG, send them to Google Forms, so that's one extra less step that your customer might potentially have to go through, even though, as I said, I think most people are going to be already members of BGG, but you never know. Second edition side of the board. This one has the 3 extra hexes recommended for 3 to 4 players. Excellent. It looks ugly as sin, but that's an 18xx game. I mean, if you don't know 18xx games, they're not particularly known generally for their beautiful graphics. It's more for the absolutely spectacular, crisp, crunchy, very, at least for me, it was kind of stressful, like making the decisions gameplay, which I love when I did get a chance to play them. First edition side of the board without the extra hexes, good. These are nice, clean, clear pictures. I'd like those to be zoomed up a little bit. You got artwork here. I want to see the artwork, and the fact that I can't, and this kind of goes back to it, I want to be able to see a little bit more. So maybe break that up into a couple different pictures. Maybe it's something you can do where it flashes from one picture to the next. It doesn't have to look crazy fancy or anything like that. It's just accurate description of the beauty of an 18x. Yeah. It's not, and let me know, 18xx fan. Maybe you know, Mur. What is the most beautiful 18xx game? I would love to take a look at what the creme de la creme is when it comes to graphic design and artwork and all that good stuff. Tiles, okay, maybe take them out of the bag. I mean, come on, maybe take them out of the bag. That just seems kind of like a no-brainer. But then again, I've taken pictures of unboxing things where all I had to do was tilt it and get rid of the glare, so I understand the immense amount of pressure that Scott Peterson is probably going through on this, and I hope he is not the only person running this Kickstarter right now. Yes, reach out to somebody else, help them, have them help you with the Kickstarter. I always say this, anyone, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. If you have older kids, just say, hey, would you please be willing to do this? A friend, anyone, say, all I need you to do is potentially just be there if somebody posts in the comments, and it's the kind of thing that I don't have to actually comment on. Like, we'll get to the comments, you know, just generic comments. Like, I'm so excited for this game. You can have anybody. You can have your grandma say, I'm super glad you're so excited about the game. What's your favorite part of the game? Like, anything like that, and then all of a sudden you've got engagement going on in the comments section. We're working a little bit more because maybe somebody says, oh, I like this thing about an 18xx game, and then somebody else pipes in and say, no, you're stupid, you're dumb, this is the best part of that 18xx game, and before you know it, you have that 18xx discussion going on in your comment section that I referred to a little bit earlier. But because clearly you have right now a huge chunk of 18xx fans that are backing this game. Get them talking. Get them popping. Daily updates. Ask them about other 18xx games. Doesn't have to be about you. Anything. Hey, how's it going? It's going good, Sheehan. I have no idea, but I would consider 18 Chesapeake is really nice looking compared to others. So 18 Chesapeake and 1861-67 reprint. Thank you for those. I will check those out a little bit later because I am legitimately curious. I would love to one day eventually have an 18x game. Paper Money Bank. I don't know if that's common in 18x games, but I still just hate it. I hate it. All right. Steam go down or just buffering a lot. Oh, I hope the stream is still going. But and of course the priority deal marker, the red squirrel. What? Okay. So here we go. Shippings, custom-friendly regions, good stuff. I still don't know about the cost, and this is one thing I always say. This is your story right here. Tell me the cost in the story. I don't want to have to go over to the side and look for it. It's not a huge deal, and a lot of people just skip over right to the side. But still, this is your story. It should have the price. I do believe that. So the price is $75. Okay. Yeah, very Monopoly vibe. I agree. That's what I was thinking. Just the paper money. Just, ugh. So $75. What are the components? Do we have like a full component, like just one big picture? That's one thing I would highly recommend is just setting every single piece of this, because that looks like maybe like a GameCraft or something like that. I don't know. But get every single piece of that and just set it out, have it look pretty. It's gonna take you maybe 15, 20 minutes to set it up. But just take one good picture and then bam, $75 price point. Innovative mechanisms that you know, plus the expansion, plus this, plus that. Because here's the thing, I feel like 18xx, here's the thing. The deeper you go into a hobby, generally the more money people have. You know, board games in itself is a niche hobby, and generally people have the disposable income to buy those games. But once you get to 18xx, I feel like it's even more of a niche part of the hobby. Same with war games. So I would just say $75. Whatever's. 220. What is that? 3 copies? Okay, 5 copies, 10 copies. Somebody's getting 10 copies. Okay, I don't get it. I don't understand it. What the? Why are there 13 people getting 10 copies? I always see these pledge levels, and I mock them. I'm like, who's buying these? Because nobody normally does. But this one, people are buying the 10 copies. Okay. Cool. Well, good. You know, this is most likely because of stuff that I do not know about the 18xx community, and so I will just take that on the chin, and hopefully I will be informed, so next time in the 18xx, I'll be like, ooh, this 18xx game does not have many people backing at the 10 copy reward, because, I don't know. Long-awaited return is here. Okay, yeah, this is the story. Let's go down to the shipping, make sure the shipping's all right. $75. It seems expensive to me, but then again, I don't know. $14, $89 out the door. That's clean enough. Worldwide shipping, 1 copy, 25.3. Okay, so you're just making it anything international flat. And I do like that. I do like that for the most... Ooh, actually, yeah, you gotta be careful with that. Now that I really think about that. Because, like, to Canada and stuff, you're actually gonna be making... Well, I don't know how big the box is. If you can fit it into a medium flat rate shipping envelope to Canada, I think that's like $18, $19. So you would actually be making some of that money back. But to other parts of the world, like, ooh, you got to be careful with that. You got to be real. Oh, 10 copies. Oh, I see. See, you know what? I take it back. I love how they are doing this. Yes, the retails and group buys, because I see exactly why there's so many of these 10 copies, is because, you know, let's say you're in Australia and you get together, you pay for... I love that. I love that. I love that. And I wish more companies would do things similar to this. That being said, I would like this area to get an upgrade. It could look prettier. Now, that being said, I love all the flags, but then it's like, turn that into a spreadsheet. Bingo, I'm in Australia. Are you one of the people backing for numerous ones? Add-on items. Okay, add-on items are available to purchase with your Kickstarter pledge at extra copies. The expansion. Okay, cool. Oh, All aboard. And more games you can get. Excellent, excellent. Always in the back end, and you get somebody back in this. Maybe they want to get another one because there's that 18 Chesapeake. Oh yeah, the one that mentioned. Now I kind of want to know more about 18 Chesapeake. How to play videos. Excellent. Good stuff. Yeah, you got the heavy cardboard, and that's one of the great things about doing a reprint is you actually have reviews potentially as opposed to previews because, let's be honest, reviews carry a lot more weight than previews, just generally, in my personal opinion. Still on the fence, try it at 18XX Games. Excellent! Awesome! Good stuff! So, in the end, we gotta look at the comments, updates, FAQs, all that good stuff. I am impressed, because I have a feeling that this is probably going to be not many people that are running this Kickstarter, but I still see a lot of good stuff here. Why isn't the art updated for this new edition? Are the add-ons... Oh, no, okay. This is required from Mike, the game designer and graphic designer of 1860. Oh, okay. Awesome. Awesome. And I imagine a lot of people did that and here you go. Add the add-ons to be purchased in all board games and then we message you here, or do we add the money to the pledge and message you there? The only thing to back on Kickstarter is the 1860 Plus expansion. Anything else from Wave 4 should be ordered from this website, and you need to message me. These add-on items have... okay, this sounds kind of confusing. But I'm glad it's in the FAQ. Because here's the thing, I want confusing things in the FAQ because if I actually want to know the answer to this question, I want a comprehensive in-depth answer, and that looks to be a comprehensive in-depth answer, so good on ya with the FAQ there. My game group bought 5 copies in a group buy. We love 18XX. You want your own copy? Okay, yeah, cool. Thank you, Michael. Because this is a whole different subsection. We got minis games over here. We got the people. I still haven't dabbled in one of those Kickstarters that's just nothing but minis. I'll have to dip my toes in one of those one of these days. Because what are you using these for? For toys? For role playing? Day 1, funded once, funded twice, funded thrice. Excellent. I just wanted to send out a note that once again, I'm totally blown away by the response to the new yada yada. 18 hearts and 3 comments. You know what that tells me? That tells me that you got people who are willing to engage with what you're putting out here. But you got to be the one setting that tempo. Update number 2. What aspect of 1861 do you enjoy? 1860 you enjoy the most, if you've played it? What about it sets it apart from other 18XX games? Or day number 4. What is your favorite 18XX game and why? Let us know in the updates or in the comments. Let's get a discussion going. Let's get a poll going. I don't know. Anything like that. Just get people engaged because you got 18XX fans who want to talk about 18XX. Give them the platform. There's me, tickling algorithms. Love it. Can we change the name to 18 Ticket to Ride as per Twitter? Because that is objectively the best title in the history of gaming. You know what? I don't typically do this because I'm on a live stream, but that is a freaking great idea. Because you know what? I just tickled your Kickstarter algorithms for you. You're welcome, but there you go. Cthulhu Dreams wants to talk about a meme. Grab onto that. Grab out for that. Scott is really busy. He has 4 waves of... I understand he is really busy. I completely understand that he is really busy. But like this one right here. Any friend of Scott's could just be like, I'll handle this. Because this one comment right here kind of spotlights it for me. There are so many ways that you could take this one comment and turn it into something where you could actively drive engagement to your comment sections. Can we change the name to 18 Tickets to Ride? I love that idea. Maybe we'll see if we can get Mike, the original designer, on this. Any other awesome ideas anyone has? Boom! There you go, and then you get Mike in there, so then Mike could be potentially talking a little bit in here, and you say, hey, Mike, would you be willing to come on? Maybe you do a designer diary, maybe you talk about it, maybe you just post in the comments every once in a while. Reach out. This has been top of my 18XX wish list for at least 5 years. Really pleased to see it getting a reprint, and kudos for making it happen. Well, Matt, we have heard many fans that are just like you who have been wanting to see this. Do you have any other 18XX games as well that you would love to see revived? Because we've always got our eyes on potentially, making customers happy. There you go. I could do it right now. I should do it. I should be a phony. I should pretend like I'm there. I'm not going to do that. You know what? I'll do it for someone that I know. The next time, no, that could be mean. That could be seen as mean. Maybe. I don't know. I'll think about it. Funny, you release this now as the island is just having its railway upgraded. It's a local game for me and will go nicely with my new 1822 game. Would it be possible to order 18 Chesapeake Bay later to be delivered with it? It's available to order with no extra shipping cost in the U.S. now. Wow, that's awesome. Awesome. Cool. And this is what I wanted to see. You know, obviously I understand. One person show right now. So it's not going to be as much. And the Dutch group got to 10 orders. Sweet! That's spectacular. Let's get 20. What? You know, there we go. Scott's very active in the BGG forums. That's where the reprint discussions are happening. That's good. But it should be here. Because Kickstarter is the mall. You know, Kickstarter is the place people are walking through, and the higher you get up on Kickstarter, the more likely people are going to be like, all right, what the hell, I'll look at one of these 18xx games. I've heard things about them. I've seen them played at Gen Con. They have a gigantic, like if you've gone to a convention and you don't know what an 18xx game, but you've probably seen the 18xx area, it is massive. It is humongous. I want to peek behind that curtain. I want to know what's going on. Maybe this is the Kickstarter that brings them in. But we got to have that engagement here. We got to have the chat here. Now I understand why the LOL was left off the 1822 map. It gets a map or two of its own. Absolutely, Bill. I don't know what any of that means, so I have no response. That one's not for Grandma. Thanks again, Scott, for knocking another one out of the park and for being conductor and reviving this genre. How do I? Yeah, excellent, excellent. It sounds to me like you are gaining a cult following, which means, you know, that's one big Kickstarter away from this becoming a job, if it's not already a job, and it sounds like it is a job, you know. But here's to say, you know, 80,000 spectacular, but why couldn't this go way higher? You know, if you can crack those top 3, top 4, top 5, and maybe sustain there, I would just ask anyone you know, anyone you trust, to be like, hey, can you start, you know, poke in the comments section a little bit, just driving conversations, driving engagements. Oh, what is this? Though, if you pay $96 instead of $160 for shipping, you really should edit your pledge to the updated amount. Scott doesn't take money off of shipping costs. Okay. It's cool. He's engaged. I like it. It's good. Overall, I always grade these. 0, 1, or 2. 0 means keep on clicking. 1 means back it for or check back in the last 48 hours, back it for $1. And 2 means back the whale. There is no whale here, which obviously I can't give it 2. But I don't have an issue with it. I think they took the Nemo's War approach of saying, this is the game, this game is spectacular, this game is beautiful, you want the game, come get the game. So I'm fine with it, and I'd say I give it a 1. I give it a 1. Come back in the last you don't even need to come back in the last 48 hours, because there's no stretch goals. There's nothing that is here to come back to, and I think that is my biggest issue with the Kickstarter. But thank you for joining for today's Kickstarter critique. Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below, and anything, just any interesting 18xx tidbits. I would be fascinated. I read every single comment. Also, if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing as I try to reach 9,000 subscribers to celebrate my 9th year of doing Kickstarter videos. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. And the stream. Bye.